This video is sponsored by Sony Handycam. Being slim doesn't mean you are weak. At 4.85mm, the Oppo R5 is one of the strongest and slimmest smartphones in the market. Does its slimness brings power and usability? This is episode 70 of Gadget Review. Oppo is a very different Chinese smartphone maker. Where most of the competition are fighting for cheaper prices and the most powerful hardware, the company has chosen the premium path, making phones that exceed the usual standards. The R5 is a very good example of why the company has set a great example for many. Similar to the Xiaomi Mi 4, the phone's body construction is made with stainless steel. The edges uses hand-polished coating to make it feel shiny and smooth. I have to emphasize this once again. The Oppo R5 is crazily thin at 4.85mm, and it is no slouch when it comes to specs. The phone is loaded with a Qualcomm 64-bit Octa-Core Snapdragon 615 1.5GHz SoC, 2GB of RAM, 16GB of built-in flash with no storage expansion, 5.2-inch Full HD AMOLED display, 30MP BSI main camera, 5MP front-facing camera, and a 2000 mAh battery. The phone lacks of a 3.5mm headphone jack and NFC. It is really amazing to see how Oppo managed to fit in a great display panel in such a thin form factor. The AMOLED display has superb brightness and works brilliantly outdoors. Color reproduction is vibrant just like any AMOLED displays. Touch response also works fine. The phone's front-firing speakers does a good job in producing loud and clear audio. The phone comes preloaded with Android 4.4 for KitKat with Oppo's very own ColorOS launcher and skin. ColorOS works similarly with most Chinese smartphone launchers, omitting the app drawer, full of gesture controls, and finally, an online theme store that allows you to download a plethora of Asian-made themes. If you are familiar with Oppo smartphones, you would have known the usefulness of its global gesture board and off-screen gesture features that lets you perform an action on the phone by drawing a predefined gesture. Despite all of that cool features, ColorOS can be a little resource heavy for the phone's hardware. There are times we experience forced closes on the launcher itself, and we face app compatibility issues as well. We believe this could be due to an early build of the software, and hope Oppo releases a fix when the phone goes on sale before the end of this year. The Oppo R5 not only lacks storage expansion, USB on the go is also missing despite being mentioned on the product page. Otherwise, ColorOS is one of the better featured launchers that we have ever used in Chinese smartphones. Oppo has always been an expert in making great phone cameras since the N1. The R5 is no exception. The phone uses a Sony IMX214 BSI sensor that is capable of taking 30MP stills with an aperture of f2.0. Image quality is impressive in both outdoors and night shots. Taking indoor low-light pictures are also acceptable, though with some amount of noise. Oppo offers an amazing set of shooting modes for its camera app. There are a few of them worth mentioning, such as Ultra HD that oversamples images up to a 50MP resolution, raw image shooting, and Super Macro Shot that really takes amazing close-ups. Although 4K video recording is mentioned on Oppo's website, our R5 only supports up to 1080p video recording. Video quality is decent, and the 4K video resolution is probably hidden somewhere we didn't know. Maybe and hopefully. You know, having a thin form factor isn't always a good thing because you gotta compromise something. The R5's battery life isn't impressive. If you are a heavy duty user, you can easily drain the battery in a matter of 6 hours in the day with always on LTE connection and auto sync enabled. Lightweight usage can only bring you as far as 13 hours. But before we come to a conclusion, Oppo does compensate the poor battery life for one thing: the super fast VOOC rapid charger that outputs 5 amps of power to the phone, in which every 25 to 30 seconds you can see the battery percentage increase by 1%. The phone maintains a warm temperature in its charge and activates trickle charge upon reaching 80%. The phone performs well in benchmarks with scores exceeding mid-range devices and almost on par with flagships. We tried gaming on the Oppo R5 and we are happy to report that heat dissipation is excellent thanks to Oppo's very own cooling element technology. We are also impressed with the phone's network reliability on LTE networks. Our callers also reported audible voice from our end. There's always a first time in everything, and being first in something doesn't mean perfection. This is what the Oppo R5 tells us in the review period. Its hardware engineering is impressive. Packing the set of high-end hardware internals in such a slim form factor is bizarre. However, compromising battery size and a standard 3.5mm headphone jack isn't something great. The Oppo R5 retails at 1598 ringgit and will be officially available on the 27th of December. It gets a score of 7.3 out of 10. The Oppo R5 is now available for pre-orders, so make sure you visit the link in the description down below. Thanks for watching this review, and if you enjoy it, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. We'll see you again in our next video.